flood hydrographs are what may come up in section C of your paper 1. They haven't asked you about this for a while, so there is a possibility it could obviously come up every year. So please expect the unexpected. It's really important that you understand what it's showing you, to interpret it, and how it may ask you about factors that affect flood risk. So let's label our flood hydrographs to start off with. So your discharge here is on this side, which is often the volume of water in a river flowing per second. It is in cubic meters per second, so we can actually put cubics though, which stands for cubic meters per second. And then you also have at the bottom your hours / time, and then along the left hand side you have your rainfall, and we're going to measure there in millimeters. So let's label certain parts of the graph. Okay, you've got your peak rainfall here. So your peak rainfall, which is the maximum amount of rainfall that fell. You also have here your peak discharge. So remember, that's your volume of water in the river. You have this bit here, which is going up, which is your rising limb. Then you have the bit that is going down, which is your falling limb. And then there is one other part of the flood hydrograph which is really important to understand, which is the lag time. So I'm going to use a different coloured pen. Your lag time is your time between your peak rainfall and your peak discharge. So if I was to get a ruler and I was to go from peak rainfall to peak discharge, so that's your maximum peak sort of there, and I'm going to draw my line like that. And this is your lag time. So it's the time it has taken. So it's your time between your peak rainfall and your peak discharge. So for you, basically, your river to fill up. So there are various reasons as to why you might have different lag times on different graphs. You could have a short lag time or a long lag time. Sometimes your hydrographs are like this, where they rise really quickly and you have a short lag time, which is often called a flashy hydrograph. And then sometimes you have a peak discharge, which is sort of lower here, and it is called more of a subdued. So your river has not filled up as quick. So let's think about some of the reasons as to why you might have a short lag time. So why your river might reach its peak discharge nice and quickly. So some of the reasons why could be human or they could be physical. So let's go with urbanization as one of the first reasons. We use, remember, impermeable surfaces like concrete, which increase surface runoff to the river, as nothing is being infiltrated. No water is being infiltrated into the land because it would just sit on top of the concrete, on top of the tarmac that we've used, which would potentially mean that it increases our surface runoff to the river. It is going to flood quicker, giving us a shorter lag time. So that is a human factor of flooding. You could also have a physical and natural factor of flooding, which means that potentially you could have a short lag time, and that could be to do with relief. This area might be at the bottom of a V-shaped valley. Bottom of a V-shaped valley, which means your water is going to rapidly transfer downhill towards the river at the bottom of the valley, not giving it any time to infiltrate. You could also have a longer lag time due to a few reasons. One of those reasons might be to do with trees or to do with vegetation. So vegetation, remember, intercepts the water, decreasing surface runoff time. So decreasing the rapid transfer of water, the rapid transfer of water. You may also have a certain type of rock. So you might have permeable, and if you have a permeable rock, that could mean that you are able to infiltrate the water, or not you, the rock is able to infiltrate the water. Permeable rock, able to infiltrate, which means it is not going to fill up your river as quick. So you need to know these different sections of your flood hydrograph. You need to know about lag time and some of the reasons why, which comes into play when you talk about your human and your natural or physical factors of flooding.